Welcome everyone, I am Louis Leyva. I am here to save you 2 hours of your precious time. If you didn't tune in yesterday to the Senate hearing on Title I, which covers the PPP loan and the EIDL loan, well, I'm here to break it down for you, and I got the highlights, which is only less than 4 minutes, believe it or not. Who would have thunk? 2 hours of Senate hearing and only 4 minutes of highlights? Well, I picked it out for you. Not only did I watch it, but I watched it twice to make sure I didn't miss anything. And not only that, but I filmed this video 3 times because I keep forgetting to turn on the audio, but who cares? So let's go ahead and watch this video and I'll give you my reaction.
But what's the rationale for a $150,000 cap when the law says, statute says up to $2 million?
Yes, but at that time, sir, we had $7 billion available. We exhausted those $7 billion to the subsidy, given the approval.
But the same thing was true with PPP. We made money available. The window opened quickly. You processed the new loans quickly. You haven't done that for EIDL.
Okay, so what Senator Cardin is saying is that why is it that you only gave out $150,000 per loan when the statute, when the CARES Act actually says $2 million? And he didn't mention it here, but he's also referring to why is it that you're only giving out a $1,000 grant when the CARES Act also says $10,000. What her response to it was that we only had $7 billion to work with. What did you expect us to do? We had to make sure that that money lasted. And then his response was, we gave you more money after we noticed that you were underfunded. Why didn't you revert back to the traditional way it was supposed to be done? Let's go ahead and see what else they said.
The PPP applications have slowed down. We haven't seen the EIDLs pick up. This is unacceptable. The EIDL program has to operate at a much more efficient level. You need to let us know if you need more help. Why is the EIDL program not being used to its full capacity, and what can we expect in the future moving forward?
We are in the process of fixing that because we are now being prepared to accept more applications besides the ag, and we have a few 100,000 waiting in the queue and we'd like to take them on. We have about 65,000 that want to re-enter and be reconsidered for more funds, and we're working through that as well.
Okay, so what she's saying is that they're going to be opening up the portal for you to be able to reapply. But not only that, but they're also going to be looking at people who were underfunded. There's about 65,000 people, according to her, that have been underfunded, which means that you have a $150,000 limit in these loans. Maybe you only got 50,000, maybe you only got 10,000 or 20,000. Now you can actually go back and get re-reviewed and possibly get up to 150,000. And by the looks of it, it's a really good chance you might get it.
It may not be the $2 million, but what we can provide is a lifeline to many more at that particular cap. All of the 5.4 million applications that we've had since March to this date are now going to be in that loan portal, which they're making an assessment on. And the reason we're able to do that is that we went from a production where a loan officer processed about 3 to 5 loans a day to now 50 loans a day.
Okay, so what she's stating is that the reason why they're able to now give the 5 million applicants some type of a response or be somewhere in the approval process is because previously their LOs or loan officers were only able to process 3 to 5 transactions per day. But since they ramped up on how many loan officers they have, and they've been feeding their loan officers nothing but Monsters and Red Bulls for the last few weeks, oh yeah, they're able to do 10 times the production they were doing before. So this is great news. If you haven't heard anything yet, next week is going to be a big week for all of us.
And to that extent, I'd like to put something else on your radar screen, something called pretrial diversion. These are specifically designed programs to allow individuals to plead guilty and subject to completion of certain court-mandated programming, their guilty plea is vacated. PPP program is being denied to those folks. And this should shock the conscience of the court.
Let me just say, I'm not aware of that, but I'll work with the administrator. And if that's the case, we'll make that fix immediately.
Oh, hallelujah. Thank God. Pass the collection plate. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that.
Okay, well, I don't think that Cory Booker is really religious, and maybe he just said that because he was so happy, because this doesn't normally happen in a Senate hearing. You don't just request something and it gets done like that. So he was shocked, completely shocked. So what it means is that there are people who are non-violent, people who are considered criminals, but they're being expunged. They're in the process of getting it taken off their record. And these people, they don't have any fraudulent financial crimes. they are being denied for the PPP loan, and he failed to mention, but also the EIDL loan. So what this means is those entrepreneurs who have been employing people who are almost losing their businesses because of this issues that we're in, they're going to now be approved. So this is big news for some people out there who have gotten denied because of that reason. All right, let's see what else they have to say.
Let me ask you another question while I've got you here. On the EIDL applications, you answered an earlier question that EIDL applications are now in the portal. I'd like to know the timeline of when they will be processed. I've had applicants in my state that have waited 80 days, 80 days, for any kind of a response on their EIDL application. Senator Rosen was just talking about this, similar problems in her state. When will they be processed? We have repeatedly asked for answers. They can't get answers. I can't get answers. When will they be processed, and when will these good folks get some response to their application?
Okay, so what the senator is stating is that he has a lot of constituents, and he himself can't get answers from the SBA as to where the loan is and what process it's in. This is really frustrating for a lot of people. I'm hearing it all the time in our comments. I'm also hearing it from people that are in my circles that I know personally, because all of a sudden I've become the EIDL expert or the SBA expert, and believe me, I know nothing about this stuff. All I'm doing is basically passing on information that I'm able to dig up in other places. So it's very frustrating for a lot of people to not have that information, and he wants to know, there's a lot of people who have been waiting over 80 days. When are they going to hear something? And let's see what the Honorable Carranza had to say.
At this current time, we have about 2.5 million applications that have been processed. There's a high number of declines. We are reinstating those particular declines once they fix their information. The other 2.5 will be injected by next week. So all of the 5.4 million applications that we had in the queue since March will now be in what we call the loan processing portal.
Okay, all right. So what she's saying is that half of the applicants have issues with their loan docs or the way they filled out their application. And they're not just going to abandon you and say, look, you've been denied because your application is incorrect. What she's saying is they're going to be working with you in order to get those applications cleaned up, because they want to put you back in the queue. They want to put you back in the process of getting your loan. And not only that, but it's going to happen very soon. It's going to happen as soon as possibly next week. So look out for that. Check your spam folders, check your email every day.
And they don't care what you label the queue. You're in this queue or that queue. They just want to process. They need an answer. They're waiting on a vital lifeline. So we'll look forward to working with them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The cap that was put on, the 150,000, really makes no sense today. I'll be very surprised if the final numbers of loans given out under EIDL come anywhere close to the capacity that you have as authorized by Congress. So I just urge you to look at correcting the program as quickly as possible from the timely status of applications and the dollar volume.
Okay, so what Senator Cardin wrapped up by saying here is that the amount of loans you're going to give out with the caps that you've put on them is only going to constitute a fraction of the money that we've allocated for these EIDL loans. So he's shocked that they're still sticking to their guns about not going over the 150,000. Now, Carranza made it very clear that she's not going to make any changes to that, and she's not going to make any changes to the EIDL Loan Grant, which a lot of us thought that we were going to get for just applying the $10,000. No matter whether we get the loan or we get denied, doesn't matter, we get it just for applying. That went out the window. A lot of people didn't get their grants. A lot of people didn't even get the $1,000 per employee. So that is not going to be reconciled anytime soon. So if you're hearing anything different, it's not true. Exactly what was said here in the hearing is what's going to happen. It was brought up twice about the $1,000 grant, and she said basically nothing about it besides that she was underfunded. Now, there is currently a class action lawsuit that's going out that is actually suing the SBA for not providing the $10,000 grant like the CARES Act mentioned. The other thing is that one of the key takeaways, the huge takeaways from here, is that if you have not applied to the EIDL loan grant because you got there late and it was shut down by the time you tried, now is your opportunity to actually apply. Next week, the portal will be open for non-ag. Non-ag is non-agricultural. So you'll be able to actually go in and put your application for the first time in over a month or almost 2 months now. So what you can do between now and then is get all your tax returns ready, your last 2-year tax returns, get your profit and loss ready, get your 4506T ready. I'll leave down below in the description section, I'll leave the items that you should get ready, even though I know there's people who've been approved without supplying any of this. It helps you if you have it. Believe me, it's better to be prepared than not prepared. I'm sure you'll get approved much quicker. Don't worry if your tax returns don't show as much money as what you actually make. I don't think that's what they care about. They just want to get this money out and deployed. They want it in the hands of business owners so it could be spent on putting people back to work, and it can be spent on growing businesses, okay? Now, remember, a lot of us out there did not get enough money, such as myself. I only got $34,000. Meanwhile, a lot of other people with smaller businesses got $150,000. So I'm able now to go back and say, hey, look at my application again. I want to be approved for the 150. Give me the 150 because this is what I actually do, and these are expenses I actually have. It would mean a lot to me to get the 150. And you know what? Chances are, according to everything I've heard yesterday, is that you will get reconsidered and you may get the 150. And if not the 150, maybe you'll get some more cash, which is great, guys. Remember, this is 30-year money at 3.75% that you don't have to pay on for the first 12 months. So hopefully the economy keeps going in the trajectory it's currently on, and in 12 months' time, we're rocking and rolling. Now, in other news, a mom beat the snot out of her son for finding him rioting during a protest, not being peaceful, but literally with a mask on, doing things he wasn't supposed to. Now, I give the award to Best Mom of the Year to this lady because I know that if it was me, my mom would have done the same exact thing. I'm gonna leave a video to that in this video so we can liven this one up a little bit, because I know Senate hearings aren't the most exciting thing to watch. So I want to make this video a little bit more exciting and a little bit funnier for us to enjoy. And not only that, guys, but I also want to invite you to please give us a thumbs up on this video so we can get it in front of a lot more people. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help a lot of individuals out there that are in the same position as you. Also, please consider joining our community by hitting the subscribe button, tapping that notification bell. And if you don't want to tap it, just crush it. Just hit it as hard as you can. That way you can be alerted whenever we do any new videos such as this. Also, if you're thinking about getting into real estate investing or you want to become a real estate agent, we offer discounted courses on our website. I'll leave the link down below. Also, if you need mentoring or coaching for your business, we also do some of that. Or if you just want to find out about what books I'm currently reading or what recommendations I can make for you as an entrepreneur or business owner, I have the best reading list in my website as well. You'll find a link to that. And if you want to join our group and become a top level agent, we're looking for agents all across the 50 states. So I'd love to talk to you. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you watching, but you're not done just yet. If you want to learn more about the pandemic assistance that's out there, you're going to want to watch this playlist right here. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next time.